Happy Monday, world! I'm feeling good. I'm feeling energetic. I had a great weekend. The weather was nice here in Toronto. People are all out walking their dogs, playing with their kids. I didn't have a dog or a kid, so I walked our ferret, which was semi-successful. Now, as I was walking our ferret outside, I noticed how happy all the dogs were. And the dogs were making all the people feel happy, just watching them run around and play. Now, there's some incredible stories from around the world of humans really helping out dogs, but how dogs are really helping out humans. Let's get started. Bob was an animal lover. He had a dog, he had 6 cats, he had a parakeet, he even had 7 chickens. But when he died, he had $3 million to his name, and he didn't have any family. So he wrote in his will that he wanted to open up a sanctuary for animals to be rehabilitated. Bob's lawyer said all $3 million are going to go to the Animal Welfare League. Now, they purchased this land and they're going to use it to bring in unwanted or abused pets. They're going to get training, they're going to get very well fed, and they're going to get allowed to roam freely throughout this property. It's going to be the ultimate sanctuary and paradise for these pets. This very cute Chihuahua was unfortunately born with a birth defect that didn't allow his limbs to grow properly, and it's very hard for the animal shelter to find a family that wants to adopt a dog like this. So they decided to reach out to families that are dealing with children with similar birth defects. They were successful at finding a husband and wife with a daughter with similar birth defects to the dog. So a volunteer from the Umbrella of Hope shelter actually drove halfway across the United States to deliver this dog. Mark is a dog groomer from New York City, and he's decided to donate his grooming services to dogs in animal shelters. Now, when a dog gets put up for adoption, a picture gets taken of it and it's put up online with some details, and people can browse and see if a dog calls out to them. So the dog should look its best, right? When we post a picture online, it takes 15-20 tries of different angles, different lighting, different outfits to look our best. Because of Mark's generous dog grooming services, tons of these dogs are now getting adopted and being brought to wonderful, warm families. Rugger might be the most important dog in African history. He's a German Shepherd Labrador mix, and when he was a puppy, he was very unloved. He was aggressive, he was upset, he didn't like people, and then he was adopted as an anti-poaching canine, and he is so good at what he does. He is Zambia's first dog in this position, and he catches poachers by smelling out ivory. So far, he's caught 150 poachers in just 2 years. A demonstration was done where they hid a tiny piece of ivory in a matchbox and hid it inside of a building. He found it in 3 minutes. And he's actually starting to go blind, but that is making him better at his job because it's increasing his sense of smell. What an incredible dog! I mean, from an unloved little puppy that would grow up to end up helping the entire continent, to reducing poaching, to helping endangered species, to saving lives, dogs are pretty awesome. Luke is a little boy with a severe case of diabetes, and Luke is also a huge fan of Star Wars, so much so that he named his dog Jedi. Now, one night when Luke's mother was putting him to bed, she checked his glucose levels and made sure everything was okay until the morning. And if anything happened, he had a sensor on him that would pick up his glucose levels and alarm his mother to wake up. Well, just that happened, except his sensor didn't go off. Jedi, the dog, came to his rescue. While Luke was asleep, Jedi could sense that something was wrong.
Use the Force, Luke.
Luke's glucose levels had plummeted so low that he could have lost his life. But Jedi alarmed the mother to wake up and come to his rescue. Wow. Meet Morris, a very cute puppy from Aruba. Now, Morris was actually found on the streets with his sister in a bunch of scrap metal. Sergeant Pepper and Friends is an adoption agency that found Morris, took him in, made him feel a lot better, and put him up for adoption. Now, in Aruba, there's tons of street dogs, and it's very hard to find families that are going to take them in. Now, Morris was super cute, he was playful, he was energetic, he was happy, and he was a little bit of a troublemaker. But to a girl in Canada, he was perfect. Lori is from Toronto, Canada, and as soon as she saw Morris's picture, she fell in love. And she was gonna do whatever it took to bring him here to live with her. Now, it's a lot of extra work to bring a dog internationally into Canada. So she had to get a lot of paperwork signed, she had to get vet checks, she had to send a lot of emails, phone calls, and finally, Morris had arrived at the airport in Toronto. Lori went to go meet him, but apparently, because he wasn't traveling with her, they would not release Morris to Lori. Morris spent 3 days at the airport in Toronto before he was sent back home to Aruba. Lori was heartbroken. She had held him in her arms and then had to give him back. But she was not going to stop fighting for him. She knew that her and Morris were destined to live together. So she flew to Aruba to pick him up. She actually flew yesterday. She's there right now, picking up Morris and bringing him back home. I'm sure you will all agree that dogs are pretty incredible animals. They're more than that. They're a member of our family. They're our best friends. They're our travel buddies. They're our companions. They help us with medical research. They help us catch bad guys. They help us save our lives. They tell us when we're sick and we don't even know it. There's no other animal like them. If you guys have amazing dog stories, I would love to hear them. Please write that in the comment box below, and I'll see you guys next week. She is also a lifetime member of the Association of Space Explorers because she's an astronaut. I actually met Anusha at a NASA event, and it felt like I was meeting a female Tony Stark. Now the chef that was making them lunch decided to create them a special menu that was called a landfill lunch. He sourced food that was going to be thrown out by grocery stores and restaurants and used that food to prepare them a meal.